Here are the top 5 things I wish I knew before having a baby. Hi, everybody. My name is Morgan Hurst. I am a certified postpartum doula, a certified childbirth educator, and a mom to four. I thought it would be fun to make a video compiling some things that I've learned from being a mom to four children, as well as the education that I have behind me with my certifications. And so this video is for mostly first time moms and women who are thinking about getting pregnant. But I hope this could be an encouragement to moms with two, three, even four children and beyond. So let's get into it. First thing that I can think of, your health actually matters. I don't know why I was convinced with my first pregnancy that my health didn't matter. I ate a lot of ice cream, a lot of ice cream. And I gained 50 pounds and I developed hypertension, kind of borderline early preeclamptic symptoms. And I did not realize that my health, what I was eating, and my lack of exercise contributed to this health issue, which then led to an induction with Pitocin, an epidural, and a birth and a postpartum that I was not planning for. By the time that I got to my 4th pregnancy and decided to take my health seriously, I started to see a world of difference in my health, the way that I felt, my strength, and I was able to walk into my 4th birth naturally without any medication, and I felt so strong. I felt very capable that I could handle labor, I could handle birth, and even directly after, delivery, I was able to stand up and feel strong. What I did differently was I ate a lot more protein and vegetables. I walked daily. I, for the most part, would walk 10 minutes after each meal. So I got about 30 minutes of walking per day. My midwife had me on an excellent prenatal, and I dabbled around with the brewer's diet, which is an excellent diet for pregnancy and life in general. I think sometimes we can forget that our health also affects our baby's health. In my first pregnancy, I remember thinking, doesn't really matter what I eat because I'm taking my prenatal and my baby's going to get what she needs from me anyways, so she's perfectly fine. And yet, that was not the truth. Moms do need healthy foods and exercise for their health as well as their baby's health. And yes, you exercising as a mom does affect your baby's health. Number two, this one's kind of interesting, but having more kids is easier than having less kids. So I am a mom of four. I currently have three toddlers and a baby who is 4 months old. And my life right now, having four kids, four and under, is actually easier than it was when I had two kids under two. I was trying to think about why this might be. And I think it comes down to the family establishment. And what I mean by this is that when you are having your first baby, your second baby, your third baby, even, you're starting to establish your family, like you're in the building process. And yes, when you have more kids, later on, you're still building your family. But when we brought well, I was going to say when we brought our fourth baby home, but she was born at home. When we brought our fourth baby into our family, the family felt well established, and it was just kinda like we added one more person into what was already established. Having the 4th baby changed our family, but not as drastically as the 1st or the 2nd or even the 3rd. I also think that by the time that you get to your 4th baby, you're pretty confident in what you're doing, kinda know what to expect, and even though each child is different, you still can expect similar things, especially in their development. Personally, I think I'm more of a type A person. I always have been, firstborn daughter, all the things. And I walked into motherhood feeling like I needed everything to be perfect and I needed to control everything. And having more children has definitely relaxed me and rounded out some of those tough edges. I've learned to let go of a lot of things that seemed like a really big deal when I had one or two children, and now see that they're just not that big of a deal. So, motherhood definitely feels less intense than it did with the first couple children. Number 3, this one really surprised me, like, really surprised me. But you will probably have to defend your child's value in front of them in public. I'll tell you a little story. Just a couple weeks ago, I went to Walmart, and when I take my children out, we have at least like 2 to 3 people talk to us every single time just because of just having all girls, their hair color, whatever it is, people just love to come up and talk to us. And there was a lady who came up and was saying about, oh, the 3 older girls and, just sisters and how sweet that is, and she asked if my baby, who was in her seat, if the baby was a boy, and I said, "No, it's a girl," and her face just, like, visibly fell. I mean, she went from, like, happy to, like, "Oh," and, like, literally said, "Oh." It was just a look of pure disappointment, um, and it really took me aback. It's not the first time that somebody has said something like that, but it's a situation that kind of falls in your lap and you have to deal with it. And I never want my children to grow up thinking that they're not wanted or that they're not valued or that because they're girls that they're not important. And so I told this woman, she was much older, I told her, just like this, I said, "I love having 4 daughters." And she kinda changed her tune then, and she walked away like, "Oh, yes, I'm sure you do," and that was kind of the end of it, but, uh, there's a lot of times in parenthood that these things come to you, you're not expecting them, but having the resolve to know what to say is really, really helpful. Despite this being a really weird and, quite frankly, disappointing interaction, Um, I'm grateful for the opportunity that I got to affirm my children's worth and value in front of them in public. And I just hope that this is something that they will feel from me as their mom. I love them and I value them no matter what anybody else says. Number 4. This one is a tough one, but I think it's worth mentioning that usually when you have your first baby, um, friends will typically fall away. Usually, it's not anything against you. Usually, it's just because you and your friends or friend are not in the same stage of life. As my mom would say, you just don't have anything in common anymore. Do not want to gloss over the pain that you might experience in losing friends. I for sure have experienced this, but I can assure you that you will find friends that you have something in common with. So usually it's other women who might have young children or babies just like you. You will find friendship again, and you might have to be intentional about trying to find friends. Number 5. This one, it goes without saying, and yet everybody says it, and it's maybe kind of cheesy, but it's so true. It is worth it beyond anything that you can ever imagine. There is no other way to feel the accomplishment of having a baby. There is no job, there is no award, there is no certification that will give you the same feeling of accomplishment than being able to be pregnant and deliver your baby. Personally, for myself, I have been pregnant 7 times. I have been able to deliver 4 healthy babies, and each time, especially my unmedicated births, I feel like Superwoman. I feel like I can do absolutely anything. Your body is put through such an intense challenge, and you overcome it, and there's just nothing like it. It's incredible. So not only do you gain confidence for yourself, but there's also these really beautiful things about raising children that just makes the small moments of life worth it. The ability to multiply God's image and have his glory reflected back to him is no small thing. As a parent, you have the absolute honor and privilege of raising a little baby from the time that they are conceived in your womb until they are well into adulthood. You have the honor and privilege of seeing their whole entire life, of being the one to instruct them in the ways that are good and true. You carry the responsibility in shaping them to be well rounded adults. And in that big responsibility, you have the joy of experiencing every little thing with them from the time that they can start to pick up their head, and that's a really exciting thing, to when they can roll over, to being able to sit and eat food, to seeing their first steps, to watching them experience the ocean for the first time. You get to experience greater joy in such small moments that you would not have previously. Simply being able to love the child in front of you that God has given you will make the whole experience worth it beyond anything that you can ever imagine. I hope today's video encouraged you. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you in the next one.